chroeso I ganolfan Nefyn. A chroeso hefyd i'n menter newydd ni. Felly fe rai chi faddain os da ddim yn cofio pethau felly. Nawr, da ni'n mynd I ddechrau efo darn o farddoniaeth sydd wedi cael ei sgrifennu gan Margaret, sydd tu ôl mi fan hyn. Welcome to the centre in Nefyn. Welcome to Age Well Nefyn. And also to our newest venture. I hope you'll forgive us if we get a few things wrong on the way, but we have enjoyed the preparation, I can assure you. We're starting with a piece of poetry written by my friend Margaret, who's sitting behind me here, and it's about the centre and the activities that are carried on here, and some of the atmosphere that we have, and it ends with an invitation to you all to join us. Heneiddion dda Nefyn. Criw da di'r heini sy'n dod yma, pobl dros 100 oed, rai bach, rai mawr, byr a tal, maen nhw'r criw gorau erioed. Mae'r rhai yn hoffi arlunio a weithiau, mae'r paent yn mynd yn sych. Grŵp bach yn ceisio gwneud drama, nisg o chwerthin, mae actio'n gwych. Criw arall yn dawnsio llinell pnawn Gwener yn selog dros ben. Rhai eraill yn cadw'n heini efo giamogs ar y llawr pren. Bydd côr ardderchog yn ymarfer pnawn Mercher yn gyson nawr. Buddigol mewn steddfod yn ddiweddar, ennill cwpan a charmoliaeth mawr. Gwnaed gardd y bendigedig eleni I wella golygfa y lle. A seddi I bobl gael eistedd I gael munud bach yn den. Uchafbwynt pob dosbarth yw'r paned. Bisgedi amrywiol ar blat. A weithiau, ar achlysur arbennig, ceir cacen neu ddwy ar y plat. Mae pawb yn cymysgu yn ddedwydd a chroeso bob amser yn de. Dim gair croes yw glywed yn rhan man, ond hwyl a chwerthin dros y lle. Be fasa bywyd heb Age Well? Reit unig I sawl un mae'n siŵr. Felly, ymunwch â ni gyd yma a chymwch ran yn ymyru ar stŵr.
At the old twilight home, we are safely installed, helpless, incontinent, toothless and bald. silent but for the occasional shout, when the carers come in here and knock us about. Our daughters and sons, they have fled to a man. They throw off their parents as fast as they can. They sometimes drive past, looking wealthy and flash, having sold off the mansion and trousered the cash. We just don't deserve to be left in this fix. Our kids never boarded until they were 6. Discarded, disgruntled, dismayed by our plight. If this is the twilight, then bring on the night.
I'm going to singing in Welsh carol, Troesiant. Rwy'n di ganu yn Gymraeg, Troesiant, y carol Nadolig. Nawr. A welais i'r ddau, a'r ddaeth gyda'r hwyr o Nasareth draw, wedi blino'n llwyr. Bydd rhaid i mi ddweud fod y llet yn llawn, a chlywais hwysi brw, a beth awn nawn. Ar oes yn ymyo, am droi y ddau, i letur anifael a hi'n hwyrhau. Roedd rawel neithiwr yn finio goer, a llithraidiaethrwch dros wedd y lloer. A glywais di ganu yng nghanol nos, a'r miwsig fel clychau draw ar yr holl. Dychmygais unwaith fod ryw rai'n dod i strydoedd a threffata i ganu clod. A welid i olau draw ar y bryn, a hwnnw'n ddisglair fel ei ragwyn. Mae'n gwawrion araf yn methlem dref, a'r ddydd newydden yn loi wir new. A deimlais di heddiw fod rhyfedd wyrth yn datod y cloion yn agor ffyrdd. O tyred, paid oed i mwy, i letur anifael i'w gweled hwyl.
some of you, or probably most of you, have taken advantage of the little shops around the area when you run out of some food. But what about the corner shops of yesteryear? Remember all those little shops with stuff stacked on the shelf? You went up to the counter, you didn't help yourself. They'd slice your bacon on a big machine, and the shopkeepers all wore white. They were spotlessly clean. You had to have your butter weighed and your sugar and your tea, and they wrapped your spuds in newspapers. You didn't get carriers free. And sometimes, if Mum was a bit short, the shopkeepers were great. They'd say, leave it till weekend and stick it on the slate. And then there were the quaint old shops with sawdust on the floor. I used to love to go in them. You don't get them anymore. I loved the smell of firelighters, mothballs and paraffin. I could never pass them by. I'd always just pop in. Yellow dusters, stick bundles, mops, brooms, broom handles, black lead, glitter, pumice stones, hurricane lamps and candles. Something about those shops I'll never forget. Whoever thought we'd see the day we'd shop on the internet?
think many of us are familiar with Joyce Grenfell, the comedy writing of Joyce Grenfell, the wonderful children's stories in the primary school. But she did also write some very lovely, serious poetry. And this is one of hers called Time. When I was a little girl, there was always time. There was always time to spare. There was always time to sit in the sun. And we were never done with lazing and flirting and doing our embroidery and keeping up our memory books and brushing our hair and writing little notes and going on picnics and dancing, 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 dancing. When I was a girl, there was always time to waste, thank the Lord. When I was a young woman, there was always time. There was always time to spare. There was always time to walk in the sun. And we were never done with going to weddings, our own and our friends, and going to parties, away at weekends, and having our children and bringing them up, and talking, 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 talking. When I was a young woman, there was always time to enjoy things. Thank the Lord. And when I was an elderly woman, there was no more time. There was no more time to spare. There was no more time to sit in the sun, for we were never done with answering the telephone and looking at the TV and doing babysitting and talking to our friends and shopping. Oh, shopping, shopping, shopping. And washing up. Oh, washing up. Writing letters, rushing, rushing, rushing. And we were always hurried. And we were never bored. When I was an elderly woman, there was never time to think, thank the Lord. But now I'm an old woman, so I want the last word. There is no such thing as time, only this very minute, and I'm in it, thank the Lord.
Fanny, I am tired. Oh, so am I, Clara. You know, it gets getting up so early, what does it?
Yeah, it was early.
Oh, it was.
What time did we get to the train in Blackpool?
Oh, it's 6:30.
Oh, don't put on face, Clara. You used to get up much earlier than that when you worked in the mill.
Oh, I know. I'm not ashamed of that, but I was younger then.
But you were never a sprightly riser, Clara. Many a time I've had to run across road and give you a call half an hour after knock her up and tapped at thy window.
Oh, aye, yeah. But those days are past, thank heavens, and success and prosperity has come to us all.
Aye, we're still very good chums.
That's right.
Oh, Blackpool's a grand place for an holiday. Hey, and it's done me the world of good.
Me.
But wait till you see the Isle of Man.
Oh, I've heard it's lovely.
Aye, and me.
That's right.
Hey.
Oh. What will you ladies take?
Oh, I'm so hungry. I think I'll start with... porridge. Ooh.
Yeah, so will I.
What else is there for breakfast, waiter?
Well, we have kippers, bacon and eggs. Oh, and some very fine grapefruit.
Oh, I'll start with grapefruit.
Very good, sir.
What did you say you'd start with?
Grapefruit.
What's that?
Keep your eyes open and you'll see.
Why did you order grapefruit? Why did you order that?
Because I want it.
Well, you never had it before.
I know I haven't.
So why are you ordering it now?
Because I want it.
But why want it?
That's my business. I'm not asking your husband to pay for it, am I?
No.
That's right.
Oh, shut your trap.
I want to know why you've ordered grapefruit.
Because I'd like to try it.
Why do you want to try it when you've, by your own admission, you've never tasted it?
I've heard how lovely it is.
That's right.
Oh, shut up, Dave.
Who told you it was lovely?
I read it in newspaper.
I quite agree with Clara. I can't understand why you ordered it. Why did you order the grapefruit?
Can't a fellow order what he likes?
It's pretending to be what you're not.
That's right.
I'll punch thee on the nose damn quick. Would you know I'm repeating that?
I said it's pretending to be what you're not.
Are you suggesting that my husband is pretending to be what he's not?
I am.
I'll slap your face if you say that again.
Well then, why did he order grapefruit?
Because why shouldn't he order grapefruit if he really wants to?
You come to America.
And because he comes from America, he mustn't eat it, I suppose.
I suppose he's seen him eating it on the pictures.
And isn't he as good as a Douglas Fairbanks and a Marlene Dietrich? Why shouldn't he eat grapefruit if he wants to?
Well,
But I still want to know why he's ordered it.
Well, I'd like to see my old man order grapefruit.
That's right.
And if he had ordered it, I bet he'd had it in the company of another woman.
Is that right, Norman Dilswick? Have you had grapefruit with another woman?
Oh, I wish I'd never ordered the damn stuff.
Have you had it with another woman?
No, I haven't.
There, you see, Fanny Crabapple?
If you believe that, you'd believe anything.
Now you're suggesting he's a liar and I'm a nincompoop. Wah.
As a friend of many years standing, I'd like to know, and I'm very anxious to know, why he ordered grapefruit.
Because I want to try it. And I'm sure it'll do me good. I'm convinced it'll do me good. And because I'm paying for it, I'm fed up with a lot of you and you. I'm going to sit at another table on my own. Stuart!
Yes, sir.
I'm going to sit at another table on my own.
Yes, sir. Very good, sir.
I have no desire to sit and have breakfast at the same table as you, Norman Dilsby, or you either, Fanny Crabapple. I'm off. Goodbye.
Well, it's good riddance, I say.
What?
Good riddance to bad rubbish. And that's what comes of ordering grapefruit, Stanley Crabapple. Does it? Stuart?
Yes, sir.
Grapefruit.
Hello everybody, thank you for coming today. And I'd just like to read this poem to you. It's one that I've written and I thought it would make you laugh. It's called The Ode to Old Age. When it comes to getting older, I really do despair. My skin is getting wrinkly and I'm losing clumps of hair. Eyes are getting smaller, nails no more shine. Oh, how I wish this body really wasn't mine. Knees are getting creaky, joints are stiff and numb. Hips, I dare not mention for fear of hypertension. Eyes, they do not, ears, they do not hear so well. So it really wasn't my fault that I didn't hear the bell. So yes,
I fell. But not all is bad when you're feeling sad. While in my hospital bed, I was watered and fed by the most gorgeous young nurse by the name of Ted. And of course with me not being able to see, dear Nurse Ted often fed me with my dicky knees so sore. Dear Nurse Ted, he helped me more. But oh, what a naughty lady I've been with dear Nurse Ted, so lovely and keen. There's something that must be told. It's the little problem of the bladder I can't hold. So while dear Nurse Ted was tending my bruise, oh dearie me, I wee-weed all over his shoes.
I thought your boyfriend was turning up.
I thought you had them all.
Oh, he's
Oh,
here.
dear.
Oh, never mind. Have a these.
Hugging my favourite Haribo thing, so it looks like we absolutely love each other.
My stomach.
My stomach's is better than his because I've got fried eggs. You eat the yellow bit first and then you have the white bit after.
Put a sandwich in your mouth and shut it off.
Yeah, put a cola bottle up your nose.
Don't be so silly.
She's my girlfriend and she loves me.
Oh, carry on like that. I love it.
Oh, I'll scream if you don't kiss me.
Oh, stop, or I'll call a policeman. A 60-year-old woman was walking down the street and she heard a voice from above. You will live to be 100. So she looked around. What's it? Came again. You will live to be 100. She thought, that's God. So I've got another 40 years to live. So off she went to the plastic surgeon. She got her whole body fixed up. Facelift, boob job, bottom lift, liposuction, Botox, collagen, nose, you name it. She had it. She was now transformed. As soon as she went out from the surgeon's office, she was hit by a motor car and she passed away. She ascended into heaven and accused God. She said, you told me I would live to be 100. I've got another 40 years yet. How come you let that car kill me? And God said, I didn't recognise you.
Darn ydi hwn gan Richard Stilgoe, a mae'n sôn am drigolion y cartref The Bower yn Bexhill-on-Sea. This is a piece by Richard Stilgoe. The Caseness Self-Lift Chair. The Bower in Bexhill-on-Sea provides a quiet life for people who are shattered after years of mortal strife. A care home for the elderly, where no one seems to care, and recently the test bed for the Caseness Self-Lift Chair. The patron and the matron, one a major, one a nurse, think all ladies are appalling and old men are even worse. They need helping, they need lifting, and there isn't cash to spare. So they've swapped a girl called Tricia for the Caseness Self-Lift Chair. The old folks at the Bower all like Tricia. She was nice. She listened to their stories, though she'd heard them once or twice. But now she's gone. The lounge is quiet. The inmates sit and stare, until suddenly a noise comes from the Caithness self-lift chair. Mrs. Mould is not what social services call sprightly. She just sits and watches Countdown and shouts at Richard Whiteley. But suddenly she's flying in a shower of underwear, propelled across the ceiling by the Caithness self-lift chair. The others watch her progress as her mighty knickers snag on the sharp, undusted antlers of a taxidermied stag. They exchange conspiring glances. Can they do it? Do they dare? For the Bower bought a dozen of the Caithness self-lift chairs. They open all the windows, move the chairs across the floor, apart from one that Mrs. Thomas jams against the door. Each one sits and faces freedom and says a silent prayer. Lord, carry me away now on the Caithness self-lift chair. One by one, the chairs spring into life, and pensioners are hurled across the cliffs of Bexhill to return to the real world. Mrs. Roberts' chute has opened. She has landed on the beach. She's joined by all the others. They enjoy a wine gum each. They unfold their pack-up zimmers, and they turn to face the Bower. And they shout out, "Sod off, matron," in a voice of awesome power. The inmates of the Bower, free from care and free as air, unchained from sheltered living by the Caithness self-lift chair.
Welsh Love Letter by Michael Byrne. Where all the peaks of Gwynedd in one huge mountain piled, Cynnychton Moelwen, Moelegest, Moelhebog, and Eryri on top, and all between us, I climb them all to reach you. Oh, how I love you. Where all the streams of Gwynedd in one great river joined, Dwyfo, Dwyrid, Glaslyn, Ogwen, and Marfach in flood, and all between us. I'd swim them all to reach you. Oh, how I love you. Where all the forts of Gwynedd in one great fortress linked, Caer and Castle, Criccia, Harlech, Conwy, Carnarvon, and all in flames. I jump them all to reach you. Oh, how I love you. See you Saturday if it's not raining.
chocolate pie, but that is not enough. They like their bits of magic from out younger bits of stuff. Once your silver star has lost its glitter, and the tinsel looks like rust instead of gold. Your fairy days are ending when your wonder started bending. No one loves a fairy when she's old. 4 years I reigned in Fairy Dell. I waved my wand. I waved it well. If I can't do all I did, I'm satisfied because I'd sooner be a has-been than I would have never was. Nobody loves a fairy when she's 14. Nobody loves a fairy when she's old. They don't give you an earthly chance to make a livelihood. They're building council houses now in my enchanted wood. When you are past the age of television, and use is government controlled, it seems that they would sooner listen to a blinking crooner. No one knows a fairy when she's old.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming towards the end of our little show today. Hope you've enjoyed it with us. Because the drama group for Age Well Nevin is fairly new. We've only rehearsed together for a few short weeks. We have had the most enormous fun. And we are very grateful to everyone, to all the volunteers who put in so much time into Age Well Nevin, and all the people who have helped today. Mike and his team, it's been just a wonderful experience for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed the whole process, and we certainly hope to be continuing after Christmas and into the new year with a view maybe of doing a couple of shows a year. So if anyone would like to come along and join the fun, and that is exactly what it is, a great deal of fun, we'd be very pleased to see you on Wednesdays here in Nevin. So thank you very much for coming to support this venture today. It's very new to us and it's just been super.